In this video we're going to look at extruded 3D text in Create. If I look at the top of my edit window, I see I have extruded 3D text here and flat 3D text. If I click the button, this adds an extruded 3D text object. Unlike flat 3D text, extruded 3D text is a true 3D object with a front, back, side and edges. If I rotate this in Y, the back is hidden by default. The reason we hide objects or surfaces is because it improves the performance of the software. If we wish to see the back of the text, we just unhide it. And we're going to do the same thing for the back bevel. So now none of the faces are hidden. With flat 3D text, you can choose the font here. The whole text object is treated as a single object, so when you change the font, all the text will change. You cannot choose individual letters. If you wish to add a color to your 3D text, the only way to add a color is by adding a material. You can either use a pre-built material color here, or you can go to material properties and create a color and then just drag it onto your 3D text like this. I'm now going to delete that color so you can see easily in white. Properties. Working our way down, hide hides the object for rendering. Coming down we have the standard position, rotation, scale and opacity. It is possible to add a field to extruded 3D text. If you add a field, then external software can now look at this page and then update this text externally. Updating the text. You can update the text by just highlighting the text in this line here. Hello. You can also click on the edit text button and then edit it here. So from pixel power. You can see how the carriage return, indicated by this symbol here, has automatically come through from the text editor. Let's just put pixel power up here now. Okay. So the font will change the font. The size will change the size of the font. We don't have to use an additional tool to select individual bits of text because the text object is treated as a single object. For alignment, we have alignment and we have vertical alignment. We can align our axis to the left. We can align our axis to the right. And we can also center it. Vertical alignment only has effect if you do multiple lines. So let's make this 2 lines again. So that's bottom justified, that is top justified. And what this means is actually aligned to the bottom of the top line of text. If there was a third line in here, so let's put power down onto a third line, you'll see that the top line has remained locked, but the bottom line has grown down. If this was sent to the bottom, let's just move the object down a little bit. That's now aligned to the bottom of the bottom line of text. And if the text changes to just 2 lines, so let's get rid of that carriage return, click OK, it's kept its bottom line justification. So what we're going to do now is just let's make that 1 line. And we can return the vertical alignment to center. Size. That's the font size. But we also have, oh, there's our carriage return in there. That's why that's wrapping. We also have the ability to wrap the lines of text. If we click wrap lines, then it's looking at the width of the line of text in pixels. If we reduce that, that wraps. If we increase it, it doesn't wrap. So you can set the maximum line if wrap mode is enabled. We have the ability to capitalize the text, so we can make everything uppercase, we can make everything lowercase, we can make everything uppercase, first letter only, and also uppercase, first in every word. That was how I typed it in, so if I click none, it'll return back to that. We can add a prefix. So with a prefix, if you wanted to, you could put www, and that would start to make that into a website. And you can add a suffix. You could add .com at the end. So that's changed the text that we've typed in, all gets updated by a field, and adds www at the front and .com at the end. Let's take those off now. So we just got pixel power. If I spin my text around at the moment, you see the front and the back, but it's a flat object. If I increase the depth, we now have an object with body. We also have something called a bevel width. Now if I increase the bevel width a little bit, and if I use Ctrl+ to zoom in on the screen, you'll see here how we've got a bevel on our text. At the moment, this bevel is set to a chisel edge, which is a sharp edge. We can change that bevel to be flat, where there's no bevel. We can set it to be round, so it's got a nice smooth rounded bevel. And lastly, we can make it concave, which is sometimes called a chisel bevel. So often we'd use round here. Now you'll see that the back bevel has an individual style. So let's rotate the text around. If I turn on the back bevel, then we now have a bevel on the front and the back. Let me reset my zoom down here in the corner. And there we have our 3D extruded text.